Hello, 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 everybody. How are you all doing? And don't you dare say jump scare. Don't you dare say jump scare. There it is. I knew someone was going to say jump scare. I came in as soft and as quiet as I possibly could. And it's still... Oh, I'm getting head patted, aren't I? Wait, give me the second while it loads. I think head pats crashed me. There they are. Oh, it's the head pat and the bonk at the same time. Why am I a jump scare? I am not. Don't stop saying jump scare. How dare you? How dare you? Also, hello, 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 lovely new people. Just do a little quick little check in with something. Yeah. So I hear I've been made bald. And I've seen it. There are so many people with my with the icon image of me being bald. Why? Why is this done? Why are there so many bald me's? Also, thank you so much for the subs. Thank you, Macaroni. I really appreciate it. I'm not joining you. I'm not going to become bald. I refuse. Why is this a cult? I left you unsupervised and you all decided to become Gene but bald? I posted it to Twitter because I needed other people to see that this happened. I needed other people except me to see this. Y'all are absolutely crazy. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. You all are bald Gene, apparently. Oh, and I hate it. I look in my DMs, and there are more bald Genes. I look in the Discord, and it's just bald Genes. Right now, in the chat, there are 4 people just sitting there with different zoomed-inness of bald Gene. Why? This is insane. This is insane. You know what? As long as this doesn't end up on like TikTok, where everybody's starting to just be my bald Gene on TikTok, I'm happy. If we keep it to the Discord, it's fine, but it's not like it's gonna end up anywhere else, right? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, April. I love you all. I love you all. You are all amazing. Isn't it like against the Discord that we're not allowed to privately DM you for bullshit? Yes, even I talk to my mods in DMs, and even my mods have it now. Even my mods are doing it. Anyways. There we go. Stay locked up. Stay locked up. Now you can't do it. Now you don't have a chance. Where can I find the bald Gene? As if Moreau's okay with it, maybe we'll post it to... Thank you for the gifted. What the heck? Thank you. Why are we getting a hype train already? Y'all, we just started. Chill. All right, but I really do appreciate it. I do appreciate it so very much. Let me get my sound bot going so that I can actually hear all the alerts as they come in, because I have ADD and it is hard to focus. But thank you genuinely, Princess. I really do appreciate it. Let me get this bot going. And now we're gonna go through all of the things that we do every day. What do we do every day? Somebody else want to explain it for me, since I explain it every day? Thank you for the sub! What the heck? Thank you! How are we are? Okay, Moreau, I will post it on Twitter so people can get the image. Because I love and care for you all so very much. Yes, we do the intros for the check-in, and we do all of that stuff. So, I just did Christmas shopping and you're on my list. Aww. Wait, like, are you trying to acquire me, or, Anyways, I'm gonna read through everybody who has checked in so far, saying hello to everybody who's checked in. What the heck? How are we at level 5 already? Y'all, thank you. Thank you. And, chat, while I'm gonna be reading this off, let's see if you can count again. Do you think you can make it to 10 this time? Remember, everybody can say one number individually. No repeats. Let's see how we do. Thank you for the gifted. I appreciate it. Who was that who gifted? I can't read it on the screen. Wait, where'd that gifted go? First off, thank you for the bits, Alien Wells. Thank you for the bits, Sun Sin Alt. Thank you for the sub, Elite Queen. All right, here we go. Here we go. You ready? Where did it go? First. Okay, Vanya, thank you for getting first. Silver Vang Rose, thank you for getting second. Galaxy, thank you for getting third. Y'all are amazing. Appreciate y'all getting in the right order this time. Silver Vang, thank you for checking in. So hello, 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 Glitch of the Ditch. Oh, I understand your name finally. Hello, Ghost Siren. Hello, Xenix. Hello, Annabelle and Solian. Hello, Tequila. Hello, Dumpster Trash Fox. Hello, Carmia and Butter and AX Sif. Hello, Lunar. Hello, Galactic. Hello, Alien Woes and Gangsta Neeks. Hello, Kai and Galaxy and Kitty Lover. Hello, Echo and Shen and Elite Queen. Hello, Glitch of the Ditch. Hello, Spicy Nuna and Discorded Fox. Hello, Alentia. Hello, Sunny the Sunshine. Hello, Control Pink and Poison and April. Hello, a Trans Dummy. Hello, Seven the Shifter. Hello, Tasha. Hello, Nerdy. Hello, Welchie and Rain Feather. Hello, Macaroni and Red Moon and Kira. Hello, Gibbets and Poppy Sprout and Tired X Bunny. Hello, Pinky and Julia Silas. Hello, Kiana. Useless Huntress. Useless Huntress. I saw Useless Barbarian the other day. I asked them if they knew you. They did not. Hello, Wolfie. Hello, Highland Moo Moo. Hello, Zen Moon. Hello, Brookie. Hello, Ocean and Little Mouse. Hello, Dea the Balkan. Hello, Spider and Brisk and Sky the Walrus. Hello, Uno and Spooky Kaz. Hello. Someone got to 10. Does that count? Wait, did y'all make it to 10? Did y'all make it to 10? Really? There ain't no way.
PSSST, can I please have my nest?
No, you didn't. You have to do it in order. No cheating. Remember, you have to restart if you go past that. Okay, thank you so much. Hello, Inasia. Hello, My Chemical Flame. Hello, Meme from the SpongeBob movie, Bald. Wait, can I say... I don't know this meme. Bald, my eyes. How does... What? Okay, no, I gotta Google this real quick. Give me a second. Bald, my eyes. Okay, let's see where this goes. It's fine, y'all. It's fine. We don't have to do it this time. I'm proud of y'all for trying. I'm proud of y'all for trying.
My hair is thinning a bit.
Oh, Your Highness, I'm sure it's not that noticeable. Bald! Bald!
So you want me to go bald, my eyes, like that? Is that what you wanted? There you go. Thank you so much for the follow. Cool guy. Welcome to the menagerie. Thank you. Hello, Sakona. Hello, Sinful Microwave and Jupiter of Piranza. Hello, Onyx. Reach 5 stream streak. Thank you. Like to give the stream streak. Hello, Nap Time. Hello, Nerdy Fandom Trash. Thank you for the bunk. Hello, Tasha. Thank you for the head pats. All right, now I got the Southern voice for 2 minutes. Hello, Onyx. Macaroni. Again, thank you for the gifted subs. Hello, Chicken. Hello, Cade. And hello, Princess. Bald Gina's rise up. Ain't no, we ain't gotta do any bald Gene. Can you say bald Gene, bald Gene, bald Gene, bald Gene, bald Gene? There you go. I said it just for you. The one and only Minstrix, thank you so much for the follow and welcome to the menagerie. For Pinky, here's the Arf Arf. I'm such a cute little puppy. Son, thank you for the 100 biddies. For Elite Queen, the Princess, thank you so much for the subs. 1 second. Elite, thank you again for the 1 second. Thank you. Elite Queen, thank you again for the gifted sub. Vanya, thank you for checking in. Hello, Hellraz Lucy. Hello, Wolfie says hi, darlings. US for I'm such a good doggy. Thank you for the check-in plates. Thank you for the check-in tally. I'm getting so close, y'all. Thank you again for the gifted subs. Princess, thank you, Elite Queen, for the gifted subs. Thank you for the biddies, Alien. Thank you for the biddies, Sun Sin. Thank you for the biddies, Onyx. Thank you for the biddies, Spooky Kaz. And thank you, Sleepy Sunny Puppy, for checking in. Thank you. Thank you, Bellatrix Blossom, for checking in. Hello, Moreau. Hello, Siren. Hello, Kakashi's wife, Sarah. Thank you, Roxpox, for the biddies. Can I please have my nest in pillows and blankets and my snacks? Yes, you can this time. You can, Roxpot. Hello, Eli, hello Onyx, thank you for the biddies. Hello Rockspot, thank you for the check-in. Hello Snowbone, for Elite Queen. I'm such a good doggy. Thank you for the stretch. For Neeks, I shall remain the baldest of bald jeans. Not happening though. Ooh, woo. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Dark Leopard, for the bits. Thank you, Pebbles, for checking in. Thank you, Dark Leopard, for checking in. God, that was so many. Thank you all. Hello, 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 hello. Hi, how's everybody doing? I wasn't missing from the morning stream. I can't believe you missed the morning stream. Illegal crimes. How dare you? No longer in the basement jump scare? I mean... Back in the basement with you. Anyway. Girl in Hiding, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. Girl in... Wait, is your name Girl in Hiding? Like a lady who's in hiding? Or is your name Grellin? I stream at 5 a.m. I'm not going to go to that stream. Sorry. Well, Galaxy, how dare you? Learn to wake up earlier. And hello, Luck, Shiki. Girl in Hiding. Very cool. I like that. So, today, we're going to be doing some Minecraft. Because, you know, I've been loving Minecraft and we just beat Dispatch, so I need something else to be doing. And I can stop the voice now. My main focus for today is I want to build a cave for the subs. Thank you for the follow, Ivy Rose. Welcome to the menagerie. So I will be building a cave or a zone to put signs up for everybody who's subbed. That way, y'all will have an entry in this hardcore world. Will this hardcore world die as soon as I make this cave? Maybe. That happened last time. But if not, it's going to be great. Hopefully. I'm looking forward to making it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Saw your TikTok and you scared me into putting hearts into my name? Well, why'd I have to scare you? Why didn't you just do it willingly? I should never have to make you do that. You should be happy to get those hearts, shouldn't you? Stampy's lovely world throwback? Wait, Stampy. Maybe. Who knows? But I do remember seeing a YouTuber do it long back where they put down a bunch of signs, and I thought that was really cool. My laptop screen is weird green, so everyone is tinted green. I shall go right lower slideshow and dock. Good luck, Roxy, because I'm new, bro. I don't care. Lylons, you have to do it. You have to. I'm not me scary. I've never been scary in my entire life. Look at me. How am I scary? Huh? Look how cute I am. I'm adorable. I would never ignore the background. You stole kidneys? A few. Look, there's only like 3,000 people. No, you know what? We'll check on how many views there are. Give me a second. We only stole like a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 kidneys. I've only stolen 4,846 kidneys so far. That's not bad. That's not too many. There's so many kidneys in the world. You don't need them. Mine. I'm scary until I trip. Okay, like 8,000. I mean, I could have stolen more. No, 4,000. I'm such a good doggy. There you go. Thank you for the check-in. But yeah, did you take 1 or 2 per person? Well, kidneys. If somebody had more than 2, I would have taken those too. Look, if you didn't want your kidneys taken, then you should have done a better job at hiding them or covering them in armor. The kidneys are so easily exposed. Clearly y'all don't want them. So I'm yoink mine now. Yeah. Body schmotty. Where's your armor? If it's not armored, it's clearly free for the taking. Feel like I didn't take the spine. I could have gone for the spine, but we only went with kidneys. Remind me of that song, Why Won't You Give Me Your Kidney? Huh? No way. No way. No way. What? Why won't you give me your kidney?
Folks, stingy? Where's the generosity? Why not share what you aren't using? It's just fair, it seems to me. You seem like a giving person, more benevolent and such.
What?
But I sense you holding back when this subject does come up. Why won't you give me your kidney, your kidney, your kidney? Why won't you give me your kidney?
That's a jam.
It's the least
That's a
you can
jam.
do.
That is flawless.
There's your mother
Perfect.
standing over
Amazing.
there. Hey, she don't mind.
We don't need any other music.
She says you were never
This is by Haywood Banks. It's called Kidney. Why won't you give me your kidney? Amazing. Well, okay, perfect. If I can figure out how to make this more Christmassy, we got this. When the bard is in charge of collecting it's if you mix the rogue and a bard, you get this song. But no, look, I can't pay you for your kidney. The reason why I took y'all's kidneys is because I needed money for the next VTuber model. It was either that or run a fundraiser, and I decided running a fundraiser at the beginning of December. Thank you for the hydrate. Was probably not the nicest thing to do. You know, y'all need to save money for your Christmas spending. So instead, we're going to do the fundraiser for the next model on my birthday, February 17th. And I've got a bunch of events planned, as well as a merchandise competition. I got a list of stuff, which we can go over another time. Have you put up your Christmas tree yet? Am I supposed to have a Christmas tree? Do I need a Christmas tree? I mean, if you all don't want to spend money at Christmas, we'll do the fundraiser right now. Chat, all your money in the bag. All the money in the bag. Gib? Give me all the money right now. I'm ready. This is a stick up. I'm robbing you. What do you mean, nah? What do you mean, nah? Do I get snacks? Sure, I'll give you snacks. I have chips. Make you. This is a. I don't have a gun. Does anybody have a? Wait. I might have a gun. Give me a second. I'm American. There has to be a gun here somewhere. Gun. Ah! Ah! There. Give. Why are my hands so small? There we go. Give. Give me all your money. Give it to me. I need it.
All I got's left.
All I got left. Oh, thanks. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Fine. Valid. I mean, I get it. But, like, you know... Wait. Can I... Is this aiming at you yet? No, it's still aiming off the screen. I don't know who I'm aiming at. There's some guy over there in the distance that we're going to take out. Thank you. Thank you, Onyx. Thank you, Chicken, for the sub. And thank you, Tequila, for the bits. I really appreciate it. I put it down. I'm glad that none of you pulled out guns. No! I just said I'm glad none of you pulled out guns. Wolfie, put that thing away. Put it away. Okay, I'm getting rid of the demons in the corner. No! How many of you have got... How many of you are Americans? Oh, wait. Most of my viewers are Americans. Oh, no. Thank you, Nuna, for the sub. Okay. Are we ready for Minecraft? Let it chug through monsters. Don't, Asher, sweetie, honey, lovely. Don't. Don't hurt yourself. Oh, Onyx, thank you so much for the biddies. Spare change is always fine. I got a 3D printer, so you're making more? No. You'll get my money on Saturday when my friend joins us, gifting her a sub so she gets tied down here. I'll make sure to give her special attention. Hi, Hoshi! Jack, can we get a shout out for Hoshi Breeze? Even though Hoshi Breeze told me not to shout them out one day. They're like, hey, I'll make a deal with you if you don't shout me out. But now I do shout them up because I like their streams. Jack, go check out Hoshi Breeze. They do cool stuff. They do Minecraft. A lot of hardcore Minecraft. They're better at the game than I am. They've actually beaten the game in hardcore, and I'm still stuck. I'm only just now getting diamond armor. Go check out Hoshi. I am half American. Ich bin halb American und halb Deutsch. Ich kann Deutsch sprechen. Ein bisschen. And yeah, hello. Who needs to pay for rent when you can donate to streamers? Exactly. I'll give you a fragment of my attention. Don't you want to give me $1,000 so I can go, hey, yo, chat, Pog, thank you so much for the dono, and then never pay attention to you ever again? That's what everybody wants, right? No? I'm sorry. I slipped my fingers down my... Okay. 50 for maid's dress, a little bit of Soul Just Died, same. Oh yeah, $50 for a maid's dress. I will put on the maid's dress for $50, and I'll keep it on for the rest of the stream. I'll even do a longer stream. If I had money, I would. What am I doing? Right, Minecraft! Not me completely forgetting that games exist. Though I could just stand here, talk about money for the rest of the stream. What if I just keep talking and see what happens? The sub cave. I'm kind of slowly regretting calling it the sub cave. It's not a submissive cave. Caves can't be submissive. They're caves. I'd like to see you try to dom a cave. What are you gonna do? Hey, yo, cave. You're ugly. You know, fuck. Nerf. So I cursed the ball. How'd you curse the ball gene? What do you mean? There are other mods? I don't believe in mods. All right. There's an AO3 about it somewhere. Trust. That's fair. That's fair. You know, purple. Deep dive into that cave. Valid. Make a deal with every mod. Hoshi. I am also capable of shouting out, and you can't bribe me. You can't make a deal. I'm sorry, sweetie, but I'm gonna keep supporting you until you die. In 300 years. That's right, I'm also cursing you for longevity. Enjoy living longer, punk. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start cursing people with longevity. Hey, stop hitting me! 300 years of youth or of age. Catboy Twink. Okay, we're gonna put up Minecraft. Where is your god? I am your god. Forever 21. I'm gonna actually make you de-age. I'm gonna make you de-age for every year that you live. Oh, all right. I guess we're gonna win this voice again. Let me get in the right place. There it is. All right, here we go. It's too late for me to be cursed with youth, I fear. Nah, I'm gonna curse you to be like 12. I'm gonna curse you to be 12. You like my voice? Well, I'm sorry that somebody just changed it. Oh, let me put on the other voice redeems. All right, somebody. Oh, hey, you just won. You will get labeled in the Cave of Winnins. We're making another place where we're going to be labeling people who won. Let me put you on the list of winners. Who just won? Brownie! Congratulations, Brownie. Let me add you to the list of winners. I appreciate you. All right. Anyways, sorry. My brain shut off. Oh. Okay. Somebody. The first one I see, heads or tails? Heads or tails? What you got for me? All right. Alexa, flip a coin.
Okay. Tails.
Ooh, tails. Sorry, Kamiya, you did not win it. That's fine. We don't got to worry about that then. I love himbos like Gene. Himbos. I am smart. I don't know what you're talking about. My brain so big. You don't even know. Oh yeah, so we're going to be having, for anyone who does win, who gets one of the winners, we will be making a wall of winners that we will have played on in the back of streams. It's going to have a weekly one and then all-time winners as well, so that I can recognize everybody who's won the gambles. And it's going to also be a list of who has had the most wins. Eventually, it's going to add up to something special, but I got to keep that a secret for now. Also, you will go on a wall in my actual home. Gambles are done with either 100 bits donated, a sub, or a follow. It's only your first follow, though, so if you've already followed, it will not work. All right, game time. We ready? We ready for some Minecraft? What about in the walls? How do I gamble? Donated in 100 bits. There we go. Or subbing. All right. Let's see if the audio's coming through all right. Oh, wait, how long do I got on this voice? Thank you. Yes, you did, Brownie. Yes, you did. Congratulations on being the first winner on the Wall of Wooden. I mean, imagine if you could invest in a VTuber. Did what glitch? That's totally fine. I mean, this is gonna be running forever. It's gonna be running forever and ever and ever. And we can go back to normal voice. No, I'm too smart to be a himbo, right? Right? Chat, am I a himbo? Okay, no. My lovely voidlings. If you were to classify me as any male stereotype or archetype, what would I be? I need to know. If I was anything, what would I be? Not a himbo? Yeah, exactly. A whiny nerd. 19. 15 plus 4 is 19. Right? Boy failure? I am a boy failure. Himbo must be dumb of head and fat of ass. Is there a dog boy archetype? I mean, like except, you know, anime style. I mean, like, would a dog be an archetype? Because I'm not golden retriever. I'm at best a German Shepherd husky mix. 9 plus 10, 21. What is a himbo? A himbo is a bimbo, but it's actually more of a positive spin on bimbo, because bimbo is seen as a negative. A himbo is seen as positive. But also, though, it's not a bimbo at all, which is so annoying to me, because then why call it a himbo? If he's not gonna be a bimbo and he's not gonna sleep with people, then he's just dumb. Can see husky. Sometimes we all will meet Doom once in a while. I will never meet Doom. Screaming at leaves on our... How'd you know what I was doing earlier? Did I ever tell y'all that I, as a child, I would spend hours kicking a tree and staring at it. Now, to be fair, I was on new medication, but I really, really enjoyed kicking that tree. I was so good at kicking that tree. I have done 40 cursed Photoshop edits. Nap, can I ask why? What god has forsaken you that you felt the absolute need to do this? Are you very protective? I'm very protective. Yes. I'm very possessive, too. Mine. No, I'm not eating food, apparently. Gene watching paint dry, but with trees. I don't watch paint dry. I watch trees grow. That's how next level Black cat. Eek. Maybe a tuxedo cat. I've been told I could be a tuxedo cat because I have some black cat energy, but I'm also occasionally dumb and goofy, but sometimes smart. Not an orange cat. What is funny about this? I think this is very normal and average conversation people have. Oh, Brownie. Sleep well, sweetie. Wait, Brownie. Were you from TikTok? Did you follow me on TikTok recently? Did you do a cosplay with red hair? Okay, no, not you then. Okay, different cosplayer. Black cats are the huskies of the cat world, aren't they? Calico. Okay, because I saw a cosplayer recently who followed me, and I'm like, which, by the way, I made the TikTok about saying I checked everybody's profiles to see if people had my Oshi marks. I don't check every profile, but I check a lot of them because I'm nosy. I am so nosy. Anytime somebody follows me and they have a cool name, I'm just like, oh, I wonder what you do. Half the time they don't do anything. My Oshi mark is a red heart and a black heart. It looks sick. Hello, Tiny Wizard. How are you feeling today? Are you feeling tiny and wizard? Just realized that if we have videos of ourselves on TikTok, he knows what we look like. Yes. I have put you on a wall, tied together with red string, to be like, if ever I see those Oshi marks disappear, I'm coming for them. Putting them back in my basement. I didn't know until TikTok showed up, so I put it in my Discord and TikTok. I appreciate that, Spooky. Black is a burnt orange? What? Wait, what, Katamia? It freaked me out when you suddenly went, oh, I never thought to call you? Huh? I know Oshi marks since you passed it. I know you did. I have no digital footprint to keep your Oshi marks guessing as... Have no digital footprint to keep your Oshi guessing as much as us. No. Oh, nah. Huh? I changed my profile photo to not be me, lol, but I also don't post. That's fair. Just Kaz is fine? Okay, spooky Kaz. Sorry, Kaz. Could you only find my pic on Instagram and only if you friend me? Valid. You checked my profile? What do I have to do with calling you? Did I say I'd call you? Am I busy through December by chance? All of December? Hello, Aiko! Aiko's did the design for my new character model. Live 2D is currently being made. Do I have Insta? I have everything. What am I doing? I'm running around in circles, looking exclusively at chat. Okay. Wow, my inventory is full. Hi, Zyla. Give me a second. I put him on my Discord. Yay. Sub cave. Oh, thank you. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I need shovel that I will want to enchant. I will need... Yes, I need to know, how did you lose sugar? Hey. Oshi marks are only really important when you have when you like want your community to represent. Can I be nerdy for a little while? You lost your sugar once? Oh, I found it. Yes, no. I actually am getting spruce. I have spruce. I've made a spruce tree. Okay, sorry, I completely blanked on that. I did lose my sugar, and the reason I lost it, 'cause you know, this is the one time. This is the one time you... Hey, can I be nerdy? Gives me nerd voice. Fine, we're gonna be a nerdy while I do this nerd voice for a little while, okay? So, Oshi marks. That's a hard word to say when I talk like this. So the Oshi marks are the thing that is very popular in Japanese idol culture. And they have it representing their idols, so you can really like identify with the people and you can see community members. The only reason why Americans and most like Europeans took on the little silly little Oshi marks was because we're copying the Japanese and Korean idols. Most American people don't actually use them properly. Like they just get them and they don't use them. Well, me, being the super smart genius that I am, decided to start promoting the Oshi marks to get more people to actually do it. Now I'm gonna make another post that's probably gonna cost me a few Oshi marks to be like, hey, here's how to look up your favorite VTubers Oshi marks, because I think it's cool to have this culture. But you know what? I think you sound so much like a nerd. That's the point. Anyway, so that's the whole thing. It's like I really want people. Momo, don't you run away from me! I really want more people to be like using Oshi marks, and because they're so cool. I mean, like, isn't it just such a fun idea to have like a shared mark with everybody? You gotta feel like you're part of something bigger instead of just yourself. There. Is this special? Is everyone here stand out? How old am I? You will never know because I will never tell you. I'm also infinite. Because I'm an anime boy on the internet. We have... Oh, we're done. Okay, sweet. Yeah, BTS has their own and stuff, but yeah. And so that's the idea. So if you want, thank you for the block. If you want somebody to like know who your Oshi is immediately, you'd put it on your username. That way you'd be like, oh my god, you have the same Oshi marks as I do. That's so cool. And if you just want to show off all the communities you're part of, like think of it this way also. Let's say you have your bio and you want to put like 30 bands in there, right? You can't because bios are limited. But you know what you could do? You could put 2 emotes for each band. Same thing with an Oshi. So for me, mine's a red heart and a black heart. And let's say you have somebody else. Hoshi, what are your Oshi marks? Old. I'm not old. I don't know if Hoshi's still here. But people have different Oshi marks. So you could put like my Oshi mark, somebody else's Oshi mark, somebody else's Oshi marks. And that way you can show all of the VTubers you're a fan of. All the communities you're part of. It's cute. It's fun. More VTubers need to do it. Anyway, where were we? What were we talking about before that? Sub cave, I think, or were we talking about something else? I can no longer remember. My brain is gone. Scaffolding. Oh, I need string. Oh, I need to get some sugar. Oh, sugar. Right. So, the sugar situation. And look, I have a justification for this. And yeah, so you can collect VTuber marks, and I think it's a lot of fun. So the sugar situation makes sense because here's what happened. I got what cult? Why are we dissolving? What are we talking about? Huh? Aiko, I'm so confused. What cult? Balji? No, Balji. What? Okay. So, I forgot to grab grain. Okay, yes. So, sugar. I got sugar. I got nice sugar. I got, sugar in the raw and a little bit better quality sugar. And then it vanished, and I couldn't find it for days. Turns out I put it away, but then I put a gallon of apple cider vinegar in front of it, and so I couldn't find it. So, there we go. See? Like it makes sense. I actually have a reason for losing it for once. Instead of, I found my glasses inside of my couch. Not on my couch, inside of my couch. Toddlers have better attention span than me. Thank you, Haley Tucker. I like your name. It's a normal name. It's very cool. You know the norm? No object permanence. There are no objects. I took so long leaving this place that it's nighttime. Naptime, what are you giving up? Kaigutsu? Hello! I like your name, too. I like your little... Wait, what is that? Why do you have little... What is that? You! Kaigu, come here. What is that symbol next to your name that says alone? Why does it say alone? What does it mean? Wait, is Hoshi's Oshi mark really pointing in a black heart? I like that. Okay, I need grain. Grain, perfect. Now I can go get a sheep. I need a sheep so I can get wool, so I can make... Hoshi, what's your Oshi marks? Wake up, Hoshi, I know you were sleeping, I'm sorry. Oh, can we get a shout out for Mumu? Mukya? Or, no, sorry, Mukya. I don't want to mispronounce it. I forgot how fun Pit Crew is. Oh, there might be a Voidling Pit Crew being made, by the way. That should be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be great. I'm excited for, all the Voidling stuff. And then there's going to be the Voidling test to see what kind of Voidling you are. And there's going to be... Thank you for the stretch. And then there's going to be, so much stuff. You should see all the events I planned for the fundraiser. I'm going to be bringing in some special guests. I'm going to be bringing on a voice actor friend of mine. We're going to be reading the fanfics that Vanya has written. So I'm going to get a voice actor friend or two to help me read the fanfics that Vanya wrote. It's black and blue. Nice. Black and blue what? Where are what? What do you mean, Yuki? Where are what? MC Sakona. Where are the sheep? What do you mean meet up? Did I say meet up? When did I say meet up? I said pit crew. I don't think I said meet up. I'll do a meetup eventually. We're gonna do at least a VR chat meetup, and I will actually. I might end up. You know those TVs that go around with VTubers on them? I will be on some of those in some conventions across the country, and not across the country, across the world. Yes. So if you want to run into me at a convention in your local area, let me know. But yes, what's been 3 weeks? Where are all the sheep? Who took the sheep? Who took all the sheep? One of you stole sheep. I need these. You ate sheep? Don't eat sheep! They're... Oh, wait. Is it because of the wolves? The wolves...
Hey Yenna, have you looked into getting Minecraft
Conflictity.
shaders?
I have looked a bit into Minecraft shaders, but I couldn't find one I really liked. A blue heart and a black heart. The blue heart stands for me, and a crystal blue is a crystal blue heart, and the black heart for me is a black crystal heart. Oh, I like that. You corralled them all. Where'd you put them? I need the sheep. Bye-bye. Killing all the non-hostile mobs in a location makes it semi-permanent? Wait, so... Does that mean I killed all... I couldn't have killed... There's sheep! Oh, we're gonna have to... It's so far. That's fair. That's fair. Well, maybe, do it. Make the sheep bald? I will, but first I need to kidnap them. Just like I kidnapped you. Woof. Okay. What the heck is this noise? What am I playing? Oh, Tessa Violet. I love Tessa Violet. When am I going to let you out of the basement? I might give some of you an escape pass for a little bit after I hit partner. Yes. So, yeah. You're going to have to get me to partner if you want out. Am I going to let you out, Hoshi? I don't know. We got to do a collab before I'm willing to let you out. If I want to escape, just be delicious and easily breakable. If you want to escape, just be delicious and easily breakable? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? No. Okay, y'all, out of context, what is that? What does that sound like to you? Delicious and breakable. Explain to me what that sounds like to anybody else, because I don't want to be the one person to say something. Definitely Hoshi. I thought we were going to do like a horror mod as well. Can we get Froyo? Why would you want Froyo? Something from Book Note? Exactly. A fragile cookie. Oh, Ink. Ink, you sweetie. Hard candy. Yeah? Yeah, hard candy? A femboy. Delicious and breakable. Oh, wow. Wow, a score bar. What's a score bar? Wait, is that an ice cream thing? I need some ice cream. Wait. Okay. You go gaga, apparently. Wow. English. Ice cream truck. Ice cream truck. What are you getting? Ice cream truck, what are you getting? Hoshi, I'm willing to do anything. I'm willing to do anything. You get it for me? We'll do it. Banana fudge bomb pop? A what? There we go. Okay. A banana fudge bomb pop sounds insane. Pancakes, they don't have that at ice cream places. Chocolate eclair bar sounds delicious. Choco Taco ice cream. They don't make those anymore. Choco Taco, if they still had it. Oh, 2 people. I stutter too, don't worry. That's true. Ice cream truck, strawberry shortcake bar, valid. You know what I like? You know those little push pops? Like they used to have one that was like the Flintstones push pop. It was like orange. It was just like a really soft, fruity ice cream. Simple, delicious, love it. Okay, what's the question? What is Froyo? Oh, Froyo. Froyo is a abbreviation of the term frozen yogurt. So it's called Froyo. Big Daddy? I don't think you're ordering from an ice cream truck. I'm old because I like push pop ice creams? Wow, rude, rude. Never mind, I'm not talking about anything I like anymore. Apparently I'm gonna get accused and assaulted. Frozen yogurt. Froyo is like more of a like a fruity or like a denser, sweetened yogurt instead of just like a normal yogurt. It's almost like ice cream but yogurt. So it's healthier. Sad-looking Powerpuff Girl popsicle TBA. That is me inside. I am a sad Powerpuff Girl popsicle. Push Pops is just sherbet, is it? Cheap, like $2 Mexican ice creams. Ooh. Oh, you know what I love getting? I like getting the crazy, not even crazy, it's not crazy, the Mexican candies where it's like they take a normal candy and they're like, we're going to spray it with this delicious syrup, but we're going to cover it in tahini, we're going to do all this stuff to it. It's a little spicy, a little sweet, a little sour. Just like, these were like gummy bears before, but now they're insane masterpiece of culinary candy. Frozen yogurt or non-frozen yogurt? A bomb pump sounds familiar, but I don't know exactly. Frozen yogurt or yogurt? I genuinely don't know. Do I have a TikTok shop? What would be on my TikTok shop? I wish. Can I be stupid here? Greek yogurt specifically. I like Greek yogurt because you can put it in like anything. You can just add extra protein to things. You can make a really nice tiki masala using some Greek yogurt, and it has such like culinary potential. But if I had to pick like one forever, I guess just plain Greek yogurt because I can use it. I do like frozen yogurt a lot, don't get me wrong, but yeah. Captain America colored one? Oh, I never liked those. Big Daddy, the trucker who got turned into a vampire. Huh? Voidling kidneys. Like, can I get a TikTok shop? Is that a thing? What, can I put like merch on it or something? I don't know, y'all know more about some of this stuff than I do. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, maybe I can. Maybe we'll figure it out. Ignore you this time? Okay. I hear more work. No, Aiko all day. You need to be taking care of your wrist. Once you're feeling better, then we can get you to do some art. And as soon as you have the Voidling drawing finished, we will be getting a PNG chat mascot made. Stop bullying my ice cream cone? No. Try and stop me. You got sick? You dork. How dare you? Okay, I don't want to die, so we're gonna go back home before things get crazy. Welcome to the casino. I should get some dogs. Cookies and cream cup ice cream just hits different. Oh, those were so... I used to love, like, I don't know if Scholastic or like any of like the fairs that they used to do as kids, they always got that cheap, like little styrofoam cups of ice cream where you had like little wood spoon. Those are the best. I would love a Monster. Yeah, sure. Macaroni cheddar. Pineapple pizza is amazing. But very specifically, pineapple barbecue chicken pizza. In which case it is instead of tomato sauce, use barbecue sauce, chicken, onions, tomatoes. Not tomatoes, sorry. Pineapple. Actually very tasty. Bye-bye, Yuki. Who's fortunate enough to live in an area where it has Bluebell ice cream? Never had it. It was requested, yes. No. Hey. I'm very specific. There is a specific kind of pizza that is good. That has... Pineapple is good on like a barbecue pizza. You cannot prove me wrong. You know what? We're listening to BB No Money. I need BB No Money. This song is called Cry Out Your Sadness. What the heck? BB No, let's go. How are you gonna lock me up when I locked you up already, huh?
Baby, no money, got money, I'm in paradise. 3 scoop, creatine, steam room, we could have 3 bad thoughts, giving me triceratops, 3 short keys to the squad like Eric. I'ma take your chick like a thief in the night. You off, I'm on the
You know, I'm getting a pineapple popsicle. Oh, I really like pineapple. Pineapples are delicious, especially since they eat you.
My girl got a girl, she a nympho. Ain't too good, I think I need lipo. Prop 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm a psycho. Commas in $1 million bucks. More than I'm giving in fucks. Shotties with a big old butt. 4G out of sets on a truck. 1 to the kidney, 2 to the dome.
Huh? No, not the bees, not the bees, not the bees, no!
For the brunch to the paddock for the show. That's left, right, go. Got a big new body and a whip it like a pro. That's left, right, go. Got a great main chick and a real bad hoe. That's left, right, go.
I'm not autistic. I'm also not a femboy. But I'm more upset that I'm being called autistic. I'm ADD. Being autistic is fine, but I'm most definitely not. Why? Don't cut yourself. I can't believe we got bees. Play Bin Bong. Trans awareness. Are we not allowed to be aware of trans anymore? What do you mean it stopped on the 19th? Do we just cancel it? I'll still play it. Oh, I have horrible ADD. I don't understand the song. Okay. Oh god, my heart. Damn. Oh, my neck. Oh, my neck. How did I tensed up every muscle in my body and then shifted my head and now my neck hurts. Oh. My neck, my back, my... Anyways. I wasn't paying attention for like 3 seconds. Alright, let's see if the bees want to kill me still. I might have to kill this dog. I don't want it. You know what we're gonna do? No, get back in there. No! Why, dog? In the hole. No. Hey, I don't want to kill you, but I need to bring sheep through here. And I don't have bones for you. Thank you, Natalie. Wolf. Stop it. Stop being stupid. There's an Enderman. Oh. Stop trying to bait me. Fall. Get in the hole. I'm not hurting this dog. Okay. Ooh, thank you. I'm not killing the wolf. I refuse. What was that? Thank you for the follow, Barely Standing. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the menagerie. Okay, you know what? Let's have a contest real quick. Who can spell menagerie? Can anyone spell menagerie? Without looking it up. Okay, one second. Is any of that correct? I don't know. I don't know how to spell menagerie. Wait, did you text to speech? How many of you text to speech? How many of you did text to speech? Y'all using autocorrect. I thought it'd be funny, and I was right. I am vibrating like crazy, y'all. Oh yeah, no, Prism is so cool. Make petition to have everybody who cheated go to the basement. You know what? You bet. You vibrating, bro. Don't call me bro, Carmia. It's not allowed. I just realized because I had that giant tree grow, look how easy I can see where my base is now. All right, come y'all. You were shaking today because you got overstimulated? Valid. We won't call you bro. Munazari. Huh? Huh? And Gibbets, be safe. Drive slow. But you're bro coded? No, I'm brother coded. Because I have a little sister. Yeah. Baby girl, get up here. Aren't you Unk? I have never called myself Unk once. Thank you. I can't believe you'd call me bro. That's crazy. Crucy under Jean's desk? Oh, I hope not. I hope nobody's underneath my desk. You know, because I'm not wearing any shoes right now, and I don't want anybody up near my toes. I ain't even wearing... I got only one sock on. Ah, come on. What is that emote, Ico? Come on, sheepies. Nutunk, why one sock? I almost only ever wear one sock. It is a quirk I have. It's just like one foot doesn't like the feeling of sock, and it changes, so I take off sock. I only wear one sock.
What were we doing again?
Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm in your walls eating your candy. Fair. But don't. Come on, Bubba. Come on, Bubs. Come on, come on, come on. Hey, 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 come on. Okay. Oh. Thank you for the hydrate. Cheers. Oh, I was going that. Ooh. Ooh. You killed my sheep, my favorite sheep. Oh, I forgot I'm going to do one of those covers too. I'm going to do the Thunder, bring her to the ringer. It's a lot of fun. I feel the conclusion you came to in our chat earlier may be right. I cannot with one sock. You cannot with one sock. Huh? Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. I will do I'll do a shortened cover of that. What octave is your voice? Thunder, bring her through the ringer. I don't know. Should be close to the same. I mean, I could go like high pitch if you want me to go. Thunder, bring her through the ringer. That's what you want instead. Thunder, bring her through the ringer. Have a sock puppet sing Thunderbringer. Where am I going to get a sock puppet? You're going to go to bed? Good night. Sleep well. I put it in your DMs. You put a sock puppet in my DMs? Girl. What? Da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. All around me off. Wait, check my DMs real fast. Ah, you're lucky you're a partnered streamer. I'm kidding. Imagine. Ah. What ain't done to blow your mind. Dude, that's kind of sad. Remove from group. Thank you. Good. I wonder how high pitch I can go. I'm a soprano? Oh yeah, totally. Here I go again. Wait. Song that I can think of is I'm a wind-up boy in an up-down world. If you leave me all alone, I'll make a mess for sure. I'm the smallest boy. Shoot. Let me look at the lyrics for that one song. Give me a second. Toy boy. Who's the Mika? There it is. Okay. It goes. I'm a wind-up boy in an up-down world. If you leave me all alone, I'll make a mess for sure. I've a heart of gold in the smallest size. Leave me in the dark, you'll never hear me cry. More than an illustration. Something. And then we can go, what's the other one? Shoot. Oh, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub. I know songs that are low. Oh, here we go. Well, what have we here? Santa Claus, huh? Ooh, I'm really scared. So you're the one everybody's talking about. You're joking. I can't believe my eyes. You're joking. You gotta be. This can't be the right guy. So I guess technically I'm probably tenor, somewhere around there, but you know. Oh, well, just time to say my attention span is screaming at me to go do random things. I believe in you. Friends of low place. I got friends on the other side. Leave the headpads. So yeah, what were you saying about Agreed? I wasn't reading chat. I was focusing on. I got distracted. Hi everybody, it's nice to see you. My name's Lucky Gene. What's going on? Crucy be good? That's illegal. You can't make Crucy be good. Stop trying. The sub cave? No. Y'all were talking about something. I missed out and I feel left out now. How dare you? People aren't letting me know when there's secret conversations. It's not fair. Please, don't fuck this shit up for me. Don't tell him? You're so mean. Did we decide where I am? Like what my audio, my range is? I'm not okay. I'm the I can change him type. Kid, are you trying to change me? Well, I'm perfect. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I'm perfect. Why'd you want to change me at all? Oh, I'm tenor. And I'm solidifying my tenor range as we speak. I don't want to change him. I'm the couldn't be bothered. You can't, I have... You have what? What? You can't, I have. So I'm going for Cruci. I'm so confused. Yay, singing. We were... Katamia, how far behind are you? We were singing a while ago. Okay, this was the original purpose of everything. Yes, there is a computer in the basement. The Omega Cave. It's not the Omega Cave. You're comfortable? Mm-hmm. Hey, fight me, Saura. What are you doing here? Sorry, I mispronounced your name. Sayora. No, stay. Stay. Can we get a shout out for the lovely Sora? They are very fantastic. They do lovely ASMR. And hopefully, eventually, they'll start doing some cool gaming collabs once they're in a better position. Thank you. Sayora. Bye. There's quite a few games that I want to play. I actually have a collab coming up, but I know that you're not in the place that you can join, so I didn't even consider inviting you. I'm doing the Murder Something Club, and then I'm going to be playing the Wizard Arena game. Yes, this is the jellyfish, or also known as the pissfish. Thank you for the new follow. Welcome. I also need to reschedule with you.
Yes, sir, Alex?
Ooh, thank you so much for the redeem. Really? Well, I'm glad to have you here. Do I have a reputation here or something as your jellyfish friend? I wouldn't say friend. There we go. I do still think it's funny. Jellyfish Master is wild. Sufficiently chaotic? I'm sorry, I'll make it more chaotic. Chat! Fight. I'm ready. Fight each other. Nothing's happening. I tried. Oh, so I pulled out a gun. Okay, we're doing good. Squaring up. Perfect. Fire. I'm a bonk gene. Yes, amazing. April, have you joined Discord chat? Peaceful protest? No peaceful protest. Crime. Oh, I love seeing the stream delay because it was like silent. Nobody was saying anything. And then suddenly... Oh, glorious. Absolutely glorious. Y'all are the best. Yes. And screaming and setting stuff on fire. Okay. Give me more saplings. Y'all have too many guns. Why does everybody have a gun? And why are you just twerking, BuzzShay? I would love to see that. Some, like, hardcore combat occurring, and then somebody's just twerking in the background. Okay. Thank you for the lurk. Come on, give me more saplings. Lucy, I don't believe you. You have a gun emoji? I do not have a gun emoji. What are you talking about? Lies. I've never had a gun emoji in my life. Who could? You can't prove it. Dang. Well. Hardcore fight by twerking? Valid. Wow. This is for Sayora. Seora is my jellyfish mistress, and she's truly my favorite person ever. I am just a filthy dog. In her mind. What an insane thing. Goof. This song has made my brain shut off. Y'all pulling out guns. That's crazy. Thank you for the likes. How many mistresses do you have? I have no mistresses. I've never had a mistress. Why would I have a mistress? That sounds like a lot of effort. Bam, bam, bam. He is the mistress? That's right, chat. I am my own No! No! Karami, I am not. What? Excuse me. No, tell me what that means. Thank you for the look. Explain to me what that means. Explain. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. Lady Luck. Lady Luck is my mistress. There we go. Don't refuse. Not allowed. Okay. Now I think we're ready to start the sub cave. We ready for the sub cave? Don't worry about it, Onyx. You don't need to know. I'm a miss. No. Sneaky Link. You did. Bye-bye. Oh, that's what I was building. We gotta finish the stupid mob farmer first. Alright, let's go finish the mob farm first, and then we'll finish the, we'll start the cave. Oh, we have bad guys. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad to have you. Oh, let's enchant this baby. Oh, I have no lapis. Never mind. Let's go to fight. Crazy? What's crazy? Crazy. I was crazy once. They put me in a rubber room with rats. The rats made me crazy. Crazy. Oh, whoa!
Tonight we party, my friends. It's bag or die.
He don't want me. He don't want me. I just use him for his body. Yeah.
So skip. No way. Oh wait, sorry, I wasn't paying attention earlier, Lucy. Why were you late? Yeah, tell me again. They heard about the sub cave. They're trying to stop me from making a sub cave. There we go. Done getting ready for work. Oh, enjoy work. Good luck. This is a good song, right? Okay. There we go. I call her Dwayne. How she rock on my Johnson. Imagine calling a girl. Calling a girl Dwayne. Just randomly out of nowhere. Well, study and lurk. Enjoy your lurks. Why what? Why call a girl? No. Did you? Are y'all not hearing the song? He said, "I call her Dwayne because she rockin' on my Johnson." Thank you for the gift sub. Yeah, I'm not just saying, can you imagine calling somebody Dwayne, just random girl Dwayne? No. Gene, what kind of crazy thing are you saying? I have reason. You're crazy, not me. There we go. Do you? No. Can't make me. We're almost done. I'm a little crazy. I'm not crazy. My mom had me tested. Method of chaos. Any party, walk around with a small object. My personal favorite is birthday candles. I like that. There we go. There we go. Okay, now I need 2 buckets. Let's make 2 buckets. And we'll go get our water. The cage was filled with void links. Always, yes. Fine, you're okay to be good. Ah, gotcha. How'd the job interview go? Good luck, April. I believe in you. You can do it. Do you read Hungarian? All right, no, favorite candy. I need a favorite candy list. We've mentioned candy. What is everybody's favorite candy? And let me tell you why you're wrong. Sport? What is sport? Oh, I don't know any of those things. Seafoam? Seafoam is not a candy bar. There's no way there's a candy bar called Seafoam. 100 grand solid. Starburst, Jolly Ranchers, Red Vines, Cherry Tootsie Pops. Red Vines are, but the rest are perfectly fine. Hungarian candy, I like them. Chocolate, Musketeers, and lollipops with gum inside. Why with gum inside? Smarties? Are we talking American Smarties or are we talking UK Smarties? Chocolate Smarties or the weird chalk candy? Ah, that's fine. Enjoy your job, Lucy. You need it. I did say candy, not candy bar. Lindor chocolate, solid. Fave candy's hard to pick. Maybe Carmelo. Oh, I love Rolos. Rolos are such a good choice. Whoop. Work. All right. Thank you, Mystical Gamer, for the follow. Appreciate it. Wait. Did I not make this right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's fine. Is it one up? Is that what the issue is? Hey, give me a second. I did something wrong here. Huh. There's something wrong here. Right? Did I make? I thought could have sworn I was supposed to be 20 by 20. So Violet Crumble is a candy bar version. Violet Crumble sounds incredible. I don't know what that is. I've messed something up here. I don't know what it is. Strawberry or caramel? Mmm, very tasty. Okay, see, that one's fine. Huh? Okay, no. What's going on here?
Dude, there's literally. Bro, that is you, bro. I study kinesiology at university.
What is going on here?
That is you, bro.
One, two. What did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. I am pretty, thank you. Man, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Hole? Yes. Gonna make a hole. I'm not pretty? How dare you? Rude. Banned. Oh, gorgeous. Never mind. Don't ban them. I take it back. Don't ban them. My bad. Sorry, I'm a bit trigger happy there. 1, 2, 3, 4. What was that, Carmia? You do what? 5. Hi, Vanya. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. I might need to go down one more level. No, we'll go down one more level just in case. I gotta look it up. Where's the format? Okay, how many down is it? Oh, I need more. Okay. Did you just bonk me? Okay. So 21, 22, 23, 24.
Excuse me, pardon me. Give me that lobotomy.
Ooh, ooh.
Real love, you real bro. Example of dichotomy. Swipe, swipe, swipe.
You know what? This is low enough.
Still icing, blow me like Dyson. Pipe, 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 piper, I'm piping. Come quick.
Thank you for the lurkies. Appreciate it always.
We just made a classic. Power that
Hey.
shit, baby, come and get graphic. Fly to Jamaica, pop a little acid. Now I'm on a jet ski.
Hello, Solian. Welcome, welcome.
Emotions back to the tissue. I don't really miss you.
You'll snitch on me? On me? What did I do? Wait, what are you snitching on nap time for? What did nap time do?
Mountain Dew, feel like I'm floating on the beat. Only 2 drinks deep. Call me crazy, I'm trying to make a girl quit. Giant on Virgil, your career.
You're fine.
3 meals a month.
Y'all don't gotta worry about junk, okay? What did nap time do? Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it.
It's gravy time. I got the wild. When I step on the block, everybody fly. Gravy a clock. She said that I'm hot. Bitch, I ain't hot. Little bitch,
Yeah.
I'm scorching.
Got it all, baby, you can have a portion. Get head, you the headless horseman. She got
Okay, I think we're almost where I need to be.
fuck cookies, man, I just want a fortune. Yeah, you know I'm always on some free shit. I be out in Vail eating coochie on a ski.
Almost there.
Cleopatra on my dick, never been to eat.
Enjoy your work. Thank you for being here. Crappy spelling. You're fine. Chat, if you ever worry about spelling, remember I spell worse than you do. I spell awful. I spell to the point, and my handwriting is bad enough that I can't tell what I'm writing most of the time, which is crazy to me. Alright, we're gonna dig straight up real quick. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna do skib. What's a skib? Please, Vanya, transcribe for me. I'm ready. Or do you mean you're gonna write for me? What if your only confidence is spelling? I'm sorry. You need more confidence. You have more than just your spelling. I'm sure you're a fantastic person, and I've liked having you here. So you know, for whatever that's worth, I think you're cool. Yeah. There you go. Gene thinks you're cool. That counts for something. Ah, that's fair. Don't type then. Never type fast. Just don't type. Actually, do type. You broke a nail? Nerd. Aw. Do you actually smell like tea? That sounds amazing. Let's focus on this. This is a horrible thing to focus on. There are so many better things to focus on. Because right now I'm just going up in a straight line. It was bleeding? Ooh, that's rough. I be cool? You do be cool. Why do you smell like tea? I mean, if you want to, Vanya Karmia. Sorry, I'm thinking about Vanya right now. You eat. Even that bad. Okay, there we go. There we are. Now I can go get some more blocks. Ah, I'm pretty. I mean, there's still better things to be paying attention to, but call me pretty. So you immediately move up in my book. Doop. 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 There you go. You're pretty? Nap time, you are pretty. Pretty Gene. Hashtag pretty Gene. And I'm gonna get so swole. Well, you know. Not swole, but you know. I've heard from such a cute little puppy. There you go. How dare you? You're amazing, Gene. Thank you. Thank you. I try. I do try. My dogs are fighting. Woof woof. It's me. I'm just bashing your feet together. My dogs are fighting. Why are toes dogs? Somebody explain to me why toes are dogs. This is important to me. I need to know. Oh, I'm sorry your pit bulls are fighting. I'm sorry I made fun of your dogs fighting. Don't be showing off them dogs. Yeah, somebody find an answer. Society. Society. Society.
Hey, the fuck you mean you ain't heard no
Society. A little toesy. I mean, I can understand like piggies. Oh, thank you. Am I cherished? Do you keep me in like a secret box that you don't tell anybody about? And you're just like, it's my Gene box. Society. I am kept in a box? The Gene box? Is that what happens when I go to bed? I go in a... We're not gonna do that. Is that what happens at night? I just wake up in a little box? I haven't told my hubby about you. I haven't... You better... Well, if you're keeping me, you better tell your hubby about me.
sounding kinda funky. And them dollars made my spidey sense a ring a ring. And that booty on the body made me spring. Then I took her to my pad, made her sing. First she asked me for a thing, now she cling.
The secret code to the name of it is a jeans drawer. Okay, no, but why do they call it dogs? Is it just because the barking? Is it just the barking part? Then I mean that makes sense to an extent.
You see my whips on fleek, yeah, pink flings, pink Fiat, baby is a treat. Yeah, of course I'm eating all my cells cause they stuff with greens. Yeah, this baby's got the German she really made me scream. So I'm just through the world and grab a big, I'm really keen. Yeah, I'm really on that good fish, but
fine.
Hey, sussy boys, are you hungry? I see you trying to
My toes do. They go. I don't know why I did that. I regret that. Why'd I do that?
First she asked me for a thing, now she cling. Then she's bossy, but she threw it. Oh, you hella saucy. Did you stew it? Wonder what it cost me.
Because you're weird. Valid.
Ice be on my body. I'm never bruising.
Me? Weird? Never. Prove it. I know you can do it. 1, 2. Oop. Okay. I'm sorry, your name is what? Oh no, how badly did I mess this up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How did I make this so poorly? Peak name just dropped. Anyways. Because pretty? Stop calling me pretty just because I'm dumb. I know what you're saying. I might be pretty. I'm proud of you for making home safe. No, I didn't. Don't call me a different thing. Thank you for the hydrate. You meant it as. Thank you. I'm glad you like my mob farmer, even though I can't talk to you, apparently. Dumb people can be pretty. I'm hydrating. I'm sight. There we go. Why are butterflies hard to draw? Communism. Everybody hydrate right now. Everybody drink some water right now. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. You refuse. Does tea count as water? It does for this exercise. All right. There we go. Hole. All right. I'll be back down here to finish you off. I just need to go build my ladder now. Alcohol does not count. Alcohol does not count. Alcohol does not count. Only Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew does most definitely not count. There's thickener in Mountain Dew. Communist beasts. Why are you crying? Don't be crying. I want to. Okay, wait. I want to see a little competition here while we're sitting here. Who has the saddest emotes? Who has the saddest looking emote? What is the saddest emote you have? I like Vanias. I'm 21, so I can't. That's fair. I have coffee. How about water? That one is sad. Oh, I really like nap times. Meow Kitty Cat looking good, looking good. What? That was just traumatized, Aiko. Root beer's okay. Mountain Dew does not. That one's just pouty. Thank you for the lurks. Snowboard, that one's good. Mood. The only one I have. April, I thought you were leaving. April, what are you doing back here? You were doing things. Oh, is that? Wait. Did you have rat cousin emotes? I love that you have rat cousin emotes. What if I have no sad emotes? Well, honestly, I'm glad you're not sad. Rat cousin is so good. Aw, look at Pinky. Oh, I like the screaming, crying. I'm sad. Valid. I love Rat Cousin. I love Rat Cousin. It's my cousin, the rat. I love my rat cousin. All right, we're gonna do. That should be enough. Don't drink alcohol while you're hungry. What are you doing? Don't be licking people nap time. Not again. There we go. You're gonna be drinking some wine, Carmia, and you're gonna share? You're gonna share with your favorite person, Gene? Suck your finger. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, we're getting close. I know we are. Yo, why am I scared? This is where I came up from, right? Hog. Where's my tunnel? Where's my tunnel? This is the right spot, right? There it is. Crazy. That's way longer than I thought it would be. Okay. I do not have enough. Thank you for the head pats. Oh. I'm gonna try to do this. We're gonna see if I can do this. You ready? Oh, wait, here we go. Right? My head pats are adorable. I bought them special. I would want to be put down like a baby. Oh, okay. I think like, my cat doesn't want to be put down. I don't want to be put down either, honestly. Please, let me live. What the heck? How do you put down like a baby? How do babies get put down? What can I say that's cursed? Counting's always fun. I will give you uppies. Why are they back? I just killed you all. Sirs. Stop coming back. Come, baby girl. Forbidden VR chat, infinite head pats. They're not preventing the sub cave. The sub cave is happening. Too good, too good, too good. Get wrecked. Anyway, sorry. We actually get uppies. I mean, I will happily eat you across the room. I'll pick you up when you're all voidlings. When we have the voidling mascot made, I will pick y'all up for uppies, okay? Put them all on top of the fridge. Y'all can't get back down, no food for you. Imagine being stuck on the fridge, but you can't reach inside the fridge, so you just can't eat food. That's what I'm doing to you. All right, we gotta make some funnels. You just know there's food nearby, and then I'll open the fridge every once in a while. I'll be like, you want a bite? And you'll be like, yeah, please. And I'm like, no food for you. You're 6'3", valid, though. Okay, there's 4 trusts. What am I gonna do? What am I doing? There we go. You lift cereal on top of your fridge? You ain't got cereal on top of my fridge. Why don't I believe you after you said I'm totally not lying? That should do it. Oh. Fill pockets with cereal? Why are you filling your pockets with cereal? Don't be weird. Making even the bottom shuffle challenge. Wow, y'all a bunch of bottoms, ain't you? Bunch of bottoms, bottomy bottoms. Over the most bottoms whoever bottomed. I'm very proud of your bottom. Correct. Correct. I dare I put a Fey Voidling on top of the fridge. The Fey shall not stand for this. Yeah, you're going to be sitting for it. Dork. Okay. Done. 2. That should be right? No. Okay. So here's how we do it. Gotta remember to do this properly. We're gonna do chest 1, 2. Oh, I already messed up. Chest 1, 2. Chest 1. Nope. Okay. Here we go. Chest 1, 2. Perfect. Okay. Next we need funnel. Put. I can't open these, can I? I can. Perfect. Okay. And then on top of that goes a slab. There we go. All right. Okay, now we do a little of this. A little of this. Gotta get rid of that. New slab. Ta-da. Perfect. Okay. And I think that should do it, right? They shouldn't be able to hit me. Just in case, I have an idea. All right. No. Y'all gotta stay short. There we go. And now they should not be able to hit me at all. Thank you for the follow, Midnight_store. Thank you for the hydrate. Give me the height. Refused. You like being short? That's what they all say. All the shorties who don't have a choice in the matter. Okay. It's time for the last step. We're gonna see if it works. You ready? That's fair. I've had to duck a few times. Means I got underestimated. Valid. Valid enough. I mean, that's true. It's true. Absolute dorks. This has taken me so long to make. I haven't even gotten started on the sub cave. I just need to finish the project from this morning. Bet lift me. Lift me. That's the thing. If I ever do a meet and greet, somebody has to try to lift me. I enjoy. Hey! You don't have to be coming at me about leg room. Rude. That one hurt. I've had severe leg pain. Actually, I think I damaged my knee because of a plane. Do I gotta pick the method of lifting me? Yeah, sure. Romanian deadlift. You can only deadlift. Okay. You flip me over your... Really? I believe it. Princess carry me? Please, Princess carry me. That would be so cute. Everything's off, right? No lights I gotta worry about? Yeah, perfect. Okay. Right, here we go. I'll sit here for a little bit, see if we can make things spawn. Yeah, nap time. I'm sorry I don't have the money for a private plane. I choked on my tea at Princess Carrie. As you should, as you should. Okay, let's see if it worked. Burb. Don't make fun of me for not having leg room. Rude. I did actually damage one of my knees by crouching on a cable, a computer cable. And I've recently irritated it again. That's been fun. Okay, here we go. Yeah, but I mean, who says I can take it? I can bully you. You can't bully me. It's not fair. Shorter legs? Well, no. Hey! Rude. So mean to me. The meanest. Absolute meanest. Okay. Let's see if this is working. Come on, I believe in you. I'm gonna hate that this is not gonna be as efficient as it could be because there's caves around me, but still. Make everybody's height equal? How dare you? Lip. No. I'm short, but I'm wide with sensory issues, so my lips are always slightly rubbing against each other. Really? Your lips, huh? Bad Gene, don't you don't hey, not Bad Gene. I'm funny. Let me be funny. I mean, Ghost Siren. Hey! Thank you for the follow. Okay, come on, where are they? I want to test this, by the way. Let's see if this works. Okay, it's working. Ah! Beanstalk, you ask? Why it's taking so long? I'll come back later. Nothing spawns there. I'm gonna be so upset. Actually, you know what? I guess we are coming up kind of close, aren't we? We're kind of cutting it close. We are cutting it close. Ah! Yay! 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 It's working! Yay! I did it! Yay! Yay! I got it! Woo! Alright. Still have to wait for hours for it to come, though. How can I kill them easier? Trying to see if I can get into my Minecraft account. I believe in you! Yes! Yes! That's what we wanted. We wanted just far enough that I can kill them in one hit. Especially like creepers. But creepers can't see me here. They can't touch me. They can't touch this. No. We did it. Yes. Woo. You gonna reload stream? I believe in you. Good. Your first time playing Minecraft should be hardcore. Go for it. Yes. So what's up, nap time? What's up, sweetie? Wow, Naptime doesn't want me to stream anymore, y'all. Did you hear that? Naptime doesn't want me to stream anymore. Now I gotta stream forever. February 17th. So starting on February 13th, we're gonna start on February 13th. Lovely. So February 13th is when we're gonna start. And I'm going to stream for as long as I'm getting subs and donations while we do the donathon. On February 14th, there will be a raffle for a date with Gene, where we will do a 1-hour date on stream on Valentine's Day, where chat can interrupt it by redeems. I will be streaming on... God, I'm streaming on every day. I'm starting on the 13th, and I'll be going 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th, ideally. The goal is to make it all the way to my birthday. We'll see if I can. I know you're always surprised, but like, starting on Friday the 13th, because Lucky Gene will be starting on the unlucky day. You feel sorry for who gets picked as to date you? Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. That's all right. I get it. I thought it might be it might be kind of fun to do the day, but I mean, if it's gonna be a disappointment to you, then I guess I don't have to do a day. You can date some. I don't know. I'll figure something else out to do then. I'm sorry. Y'all, I hope I'm not actually sad at some point, because if you're gonna be like, no, Gene's faking it. He's not actually sad. We'll see how long the subathon. So subathon, basically what it is, I'm doing a classic subathon donathon. Okay. So the classic subathon donathon goes as such: a streamer starts streaming on one day. As long as there's subs and donations, a timer gets added, and the longer the timer is, the farther the stream will go. My goal is to raise $10,000. Do I think I'm going to make it? No. But, so for each sub, we'll give so many minutes, and I will keep stream on. I will be technically sleeping in the background with a microphone on during certain parts, but when I'm sleeping, the timer will pause. The timer will pause when I am sleeping, but the stream will still be running endlessly. Oh yeah, don't you worry. I will have food. There'll be stretching breaks where you'll hear. I will get up and I will stretch on stream, talking to y'all. I'll have a wireless mic so I can do my stretches and stuff. Regular little fitness stops. We might even go on a little walk or something. Why is he bouncy? What's your valid reason? Yeah, do push-ups? You'd like that, wouldn't you? I have to hit the desk to make sure no... April! How many of my TikToks did you watch? Because that was very accurate and a bit too on the nose that I feel a little offended. Yes, I have TikTok. Y'all know, thank you for the follow. Yes, I have TikTok. I have Instagram, I have YouTube. I have Twitter. Twitter is where we get a lot of updates and posts are going to be posted. I'm going to be posting more brand type things on that. Instagram is going to start being behind the scenes as well as more personal, talking about my, like how I do streaming and that kind of stuff, because Instagram likes the personal stuff. YouTube is going to have long. Do I have an aside? No, I don't have the Chinese app. But yeah. Shut up, Ghost. No, wait. Who said I have a Ghost? Were you the one who said I have a you have a TikTok? And then you're like, yeah, no, I know. Wow. Well, of course you do. Genuinely, y'all are incredible. Like, legitimately. I have one of the greatest communities out there, and I see how many people deal with communities that they're just not happy with and that they're struggling with. I am so glad that I have y'all, because it could be awful. It could be hateful. It could be obsessive, but y'all are just amazing. You're talented. You goof around, and when you bully me, it's even done with like good-natured stuff, you know? Like I appreciate you. Genuinely. Thank y'all for being here. And giving me even a chance at making this something. Like, you know, without y'all, this stream would just be me and a microphone talking to myself. But having you all here has made this better than I could ever imagine it. Thank you. And if there was one of you or there was 100 of you, I would still feel the same. Doesn't mean I'm not going to want to grow, but you know. Welcome, Horny Pancake. Welcome, horny pancake. I love it. There's not there. We're not making that a holiday. We're not making Bald Jean Day a holiday. I do love y'all. What's the bad news, Aiko? What's the bad news? Give me that bats. Which one do you use? Which one do you use? Can you use the second gen? Legio's gonna be the absolute best boyfriend whoever he decides is deserving his love. I don't know if I'll ever date anybody, genuinely. Maybe. But if I do, it'd be somebody who has to love the community as much as I do. Maybe I'll just get a dog. One second. I am a dog? Okay, I'll get a cat then. Oh, no. Don't get me... Lovelies. I'm going to be very honest. If I wanted to date somebody, I could 100% date somebody like right now. I know I could. And I could, like, you know... I could be weird and go onto TikTok and be like, hey, somebody want to date me? No, I'm still getting myself to the place that I want to be mentally. And I'm very happy with where I am right now. Mwah. Okay, lovelies. So I gotta end stream. It is getting a little bit later. We're gonna find somebody to raid out to. Y'all been so very, very amazing. I do appreciate you all so very, very, very much. Let's see who we can raid into. Drawing viewers. Okay, ooh, Goblin Fia, celebrating the trans community. Love it. How, did y'all
I do the same thing.
Did y'all like hanging out with Goblin Fia last time? Is Goblin Fia pretty solid for y'all? Oh, Rat Cousin is also streaming. And Rat Cousin is doing a partner push. Y'all want to... We're going to go check out Rat Cousin, okay? They're goofy, they're chaotic, they do swear. So if it's not your vibe, that's fine, but Rat Cousin is very cool. I know them. We're friends on... Oh, he's singing a song. Okay. We're raiding Rat Cousin, y'all. Aiko, hit me up in a bit. Can we get that raid message? I don't remember what the command is for it. God, there's so many of you. Wait, what the heck? What the heck? I didn't know there's so many of you. All right, copy that raid message with the red and black hearts. Y'all say hi to Rat Cousin for me. I will hang out with Rat Cousin for a bit, but I also need to go do something right now. So thank y'all. Thank y'all very much. Mwah. Y'all been the best. Love y'all. Boy.